Chosen one, stop everything you are doing right now. Do not dare swipe away from this message. Heaven intercepted your feed because your timeline faces an emergency. I am warning you with the authority of the Most High. God whispered a terrifying command to my spirit while you slept last night. And if you refuse to anchor your soul to my voice for the next few minutes, you are walking right into a trap. You think this video appeared on your screen by absolute accident, but the algorithm did not bring you here. The enemy has been working overtime against your destiny this week. He is amplifying your secret anxiety. He wants you to keep running until you collapse. But God is screaming a divine interruption into your path because he refuses to watch you destroy the blessings he prepared for your future. Let us address the heavy truth you are hiding from the world. That quiet exhaustion inside your bones is not standard tiredness. You feel a tight heaviness sitting on your chest every morning. You thought it was depression, but your condition is actually a severe case of spiritual fatigue because your soul has been fighting intense, unseen battles while your body was trying to rest. You are a chosen warrior, fighting battles you do not fully understand yet. You carry the heavy burdens of people who only take from you. They treat you like an emotional sponge because of your strength. They dump chaos into your life, and then they walk away carelessly while you bleed in the dark because you gave them everything until you had nothing left for yourself. This is the reality of your people-pleasing burnout. You sacrifice your own peace to fix relationships designed to die. Your heart is pure. You extended massive grace when they deserved anger. You handed your pearls to individuals who only understand dirt. And now you sit in absolute isolation, wondering why your kindness returned to you as a betrayal that broke your spirit completely. Mark this moment. Align your frequency with heaven right now. Type 777 in the comments below to show your agreement. Do not rush past this invitation. Your obedience is a lethal weapon against the enemy because it proves that you are ready to receive the supernatural acceleration that has been blocked for months. Seal this word today. Now, listen closely to the exact reason why God said stop 3 times. It was not a punishment. He said it because what you are doing is undoing everything he set up. Every move you made out of panic this month has dismantled a heavenly blessing. You are trying to force open earthly doors that God closed because he wants to protect your future from hidden destruction. You rush into noise when heaven begs for silence. You are caught in a vicious cycle of delay and frustration. You look at your finances and feel an overwhelming sense of stagnation. Your prayers are hitting a brass ceiling. You constantly ask God why he abandoned you in this wilderness, when the reality is that he is simply hiding your soul from low frequencies. God did not abandon you. You are reading the divine signs backwards. Let me reframe your reality before you make another mistake. The stagnation you fight is not a curse from hell. It is a sacred insulation protocol designed by the Father. He cleared your room because the people you love carry frequencies that can never travel with you into the next dimension of your glorious calling. They were decoy lights sent by the enemy to distract your vision. You are fighting against the hand of God. You carry the mantle of a watchman. Your ancient Hebrew title is the Shammah. You were never created for a mundane life. You were designed by heaven to stand sentinel over something sacred because you are the chosen light bearer for your entire generation. You are running on fumes. You think that if you work harder, the blockage will break. Heaven is screaming at you to drop your heavy armor immediately. Stop trying to engineer a miracle using low earthly frequencies because your human effort will only fracture the divine alignment. God has placed 3 red lights on your path. If you run past the first stop, you lose your spiritual discernment. If you run past the second stop, you compromise your health. If you run past the third stop, you undo the setup that took heaven years to build. You are standing before that final red light. One frantic step will throw you back into a decade of wandering. The world told you to grind, but heaven intercepted your feed today because your painful confusion officially ends right now. Stay with me, because what I am about to expose next will change everything. I am going to peel back the spiritual veil to reveal the exact entities capitalizing on your exhaustion. We must examine the enemy trap. Lock your spirit to my voice right now, because your supernatural restoration depends entirely on your obedience to this urgent message. You are reading the signs backwards. The world calls your isolation a miserable failure, but heaven calls it a sacred insulation protocol. The Father cleared your room deliberately, and he did it because the people you loved were carrying low frequencies that could never survive in your next dimension. You were being protected from a trap. I am sharing this discovery with you early. I refuse to hide a solution behind a wall of suspense. I want to respect your time completely, and I choose to provide absolute transparency right now, because a secure leader never uses cheap manipulation to force obedience from a weary warrior. Your daily stagnation is not a permanent curse. Your body feels deeply heavy for a concrete reason. The decline is happening inside your physical neural pathways. Fortunately, Dr. Robert Lake spent 34 years researching this exact phenomenon, and he discovered that a specific digital tool can safely restore your spiritual structure before the enemy destroys your remaining strength. This technology is an advanced digital sound protocol. The frequency is known as the Genius Song. It targets your dormant gamma brainwaves directly, and it uses precise brain entrainment waves verified by neuroscience labs at Princeton to quickly awaken the divine authority that modern society stole from your soul. Your spirit might already recognize this sacred door. The access link is waiting below this audio track. You can find it easily inside the pinned comment. There is no pressure to leave this message immediately, because you can stay to absorb the full prophetic teaching before you make your final choice. The doorway is completely ready for your activation. Let us return to the spiritual warfare now. We must unmask the hidden strategy of the enemy. While you were struggling to survive the intense isolation of the wilderness, the dark forces were secretly organizing a grand plan to paralyze your destiny. The enemy always targets your deep empathy. He knows you want to save every broken soul. He exploits your pure heart by sending toxic people into your private space. And these individuals act as emotional vampires who slowly drain your light until you feel completely hollow inside your own home. Heaven calls these toxic people decoy lights. The enemy freaks out when you approach a breakthrough. He drops a false relationship directly onto your timeline to cause a massive distraction. You mistake this counterfeit connection for a divine blessing because the enemy wraps the manipulation in an artificial warmth that matches your deepest childhood wounds. You end up carrying their heavy garbage. This causes a terrible mental fog. Your mind becomes slow and cloudy. You feel stuck in a mental prison. And this happens because your high frequency is trying to compromise with a low vibration environment that was never meant to touch your spirit. You cannot solve a spiritual problem with a physical grind. God built your mind with an extraordinary power. He embedded a super brainwave inside your genetic code. This is the gamma frequency, and it operates as the divine connection that allows the prophets to see beyond the earthly veil. You used to possess this super wave abundantly. Your intuition was exceptionally sharp when you were young. You recognized the hidden motives of adults instantly. But a tragic shift occurred around the age of 7 because the modern system began to extinguish your supernatural baseline. Scientists call this suppression, the decline effect. You spent decades operating at a fraction of your capacity. Fortunately, Dr. Robert Lake realized that your divine frequency was merely dormant. He dedicated his entire life to building a complete sequence of restoration protocols, because he knew that the global system was deliberately keeping your mind in a state of compliance. His total research covers multiple independent phases. You cannot simply jump to the final reward. Your damaged nervous system requires deep stabilization first. And Dr. Lake designed this sequential logic so that phase 1 would securely anchor your mind before you ever try to unlock the subsequent doors. Do not treat your preparation as an endless waiting room. Every single day you spend in this dormant frequency has a massive cost. You allow the enemy to steal your opportunities, and while you hesitate to reclaim your inheritance, the shadows are preparing the next wave of manipulation to keep you quiet. Your future self is begging you to awaken. The 3 stop signs are flashing directly ahead. You must learn the exact words that dissolve the dark trap. And we are about to step into the absolute climax, where the hidden agreement you signed in your pain will be completely exposed and destroyed forever. You are trapped. You think the devil is blocking your path. The reality is much worse, and the truth refuses to stay silent, because your own subconscious mind has become the primary weapon used by the enemy to steal your inheritance. You signed a hidden agreement of limitation in the dark. This is your survival identity. It forces you to play small. You use human hustle to fight a spiritual war. Your brain is stuck in hyperactive beta waves. This frantic frequency creates a terrible inner noise. And every single time you try to force a breakthrough using this anxious human energy, you are actually tearing down the divine framework that God built for your elevation. Your frantic effort undoes his setup. God thundered his stop command 3 times for your protection. He wants you to cease this frantic striving immediately. Your frantic actions are actively sabotaging your timeline. Because you cannot manifest a heavenly blessing while operating at the low frequency of fear, you must completely surrender your human timeline to his sovereign authority, Today. Your survival identity was built during your childhood trauma. You learned to hide your true power to keep the peace around unstable people. This defense mechanism became a lifelong prison. And every single time you pretend to be ordinary just to make low-frequency people feel comfortable, you are actively validating that old demonic contract designed to keep your destiny locked in perpetual darkness. Heaven demands that you tear up this false contract immediately. You have apologized for your intense light long enough. You cannot heal a broken lineage by remaining broken yourself. And the moment you stop begging for validation from people who are blind to your spiritual value, the scales will fall from your eyes as the true magnitude of your divine authority is fully revealed. You might feel deeply skeptical right now. Your mind is exhausted by false promises. You think this is just another hallowed concept. But let me read your exact thoughts. Because you have tried meditation and yoga for years without experiencing any measurable shift in your physical reality. You feel completely stuck in this heavy cycle. Traditional healing sounds fail because they demand your wounded brain to change itself from within. This is a painfully slow process. The digital protocol operates on a completely different scientific principle. It injects the precise gamma frequency directly into your neural pathways from the outside, meaning you do not need to struggle through hours of impossible mental silence. You might believe this sounds too good to be true. Your sharp intuition naturally protects your soul from deception. You want solid facts instead of emotional hype. And science has already validated this reality through rigorous laboratory testing because over 18,366 chosen ones have successfully restored their native genius capacity. The peer-reviewed data is absolutely undeniable. Neurologists tracked these profound shifts using advanced equipment at standard research labs. The actual results are fully consistent across multiple demographics, and less than 4% of users ever requested a refund during the 90-day guarantee window because the vast majority experienced a permanent liberation from their mental fog. This initial reactivation is only the starting point of a magnificent transformation. A deeper mystery waits for your readiness. Some warriors notice their awareness expanding dramatically after their first consecutive week of listening, and this profound awakening naturally prepares your soul to eventually step into a sacred dimension known as Destiny's Embrace, when your timeline aligns perfectly. I would never disrespect your current financial situation. I understand that $39 is a significant consideration for many struggling families today. You must evaluate every choice with absolute care. And this specific threshold is not a commercial trap, because it represents a calculated sacrifice made by the researcher to ensure ultimate accessibility for the remnant. Let us consolidate the profound revelations we touched today in this room. You must understand the exact reason behind your intense wilderness experience. Your isolation was never a painful punishment from an angry deity. It was a mandatory period of separation required to insulate your sensitive spirit from the destructive noise of a dying world. You are safe here. The frantic hustle of society was slowly draining your original genius capacity. Your divine gamma frequency was suppressed by the heavy weight of generational baggage. You cannot break an ancestral curse using the anxious energy of human panic. You need to restore your innate super brainwave to safely operate in enemy territory while you fulfill your divine assignment. You are a demonstrated warrior of light, chosen for a monumental kingdom assignment. Your native frequency is designed to permanently shift the atmosphere around you. You carry the prophetic mantle of a breakthrough pioneer, and the heavy door of your limitation is dissolving right now, because you have finally chosen to look at the divine signs with absolute clarity. Today, I reintroduce you to the solution for your spiritual stagnation. The answer is the digital audio track known as the Genius Song. This 7-minute tool is the universal starting point for your restoration. And Dr. Robert Lake designed this sequence because your mind requires deep stabilization before you can cross safely into deeper dimensions. Start here. Let us examine the price architecture for this tool. You could pay $15 every month for a basic meditation app. You could spend hundreds on a short weekend spiritual retreat. And traditional biofeedback clinics routinely demand over $300 for a single hour of treatment without targeting your gamma wave. Dr. Lake rejected those costs. The original cost was $49. Dr. Lake created an exclusive price of $39 for the chosen remnant. This is a one-time investment with no recurring subscriptions. You must understand that future phases are priced differently because they utilize separate technologies like physical materials, not because of a quality hierarchy. This is not about buying more products. This is about completing the sacred restoration sequence written for your destiny. If you walk away, you risk remaining half-activated. Your brain waves will experience a plateau effect, where your recent gains slowly drift back into the old confusion. You can pace this journey over 12 months as you afford it. Every day your gamma wave remains dormant represents a concrete cost. Your financial advancement experiences a heavy stagnation. Your closest relationships suffer because your mind is too noisy to listen to divine instructions. Your future self is looking back at this exact threshold, begging your soul to make the right choice today. Do not delay. I must deliver an urgent warning to protect your alignment. A large army of imitation products exists on third-party marketplaces like Amazon or Spotify. These copies use the name, but they contain empty audio files without any real brain entrainment technology to activate your gamma wave. They scramble your energy. The only original source is the verified link provided below. We have reached the critical moment of decision. Stop your frantic analytical thoughts right now. Place your hand gently over your heart. Let us pause for a few quiet seconds while the worldly noise fades away so you can feel the atmosphere shift. Transition this choice from a financial transaction to a profound question of identity. Do you truly believe who you are? The doorway is officially open beneath this message. The verified link is placed in 3 locations within the pinned comment using unique framing. The first location allows you to begin your frequency restoration immediately. The second location provides the quantum solution. And the third location seals your 90-day risk-free threshold with the keep, the bonus guarantee from Dr. Lake, because your peace is honored. This threshold eliminates every perceived loss. You receive the core technology along with 4 valuable bonuses worth $80 completely free. You get the Genius Child Track. You receive the book on finance. You gain the visualization journey. And you receive the infographic containing the 5 daily habits of highly activated chosen ones to sustain your long-term alignment. The refund process requires 0 explanations. If you listen for several weeks and notice no difference, you can send a single email for a full refund. Dr. Lake included an extraordinary apology for your time. You keep all $80 in bonuses forever, even if you request your provision back. The only risk is leaving your miracle on the table. When you complete your checkout, the next page may look like another offer. I want to prepare your soul for that moment. It is actually the second door Dr. Lake built for your journey. You have permission for a quick evaluation, and heaven always honors a binary choice where yes and no are both fully respected because there is no pressure or artificial timers there. When phase 2 reveals itself, your intuition will recognize the vocabulary instantly. The invitation will feel precise to your bones. You will know what to do without external convincing. Trust that recognition because it is written in your spiritual code. Focus on phase 1. Click the link below to claim your gamma frequency before you step into the noise of tomorrow with an uncalibrated mind. Let us close this divine encounter with a sacred seal. Place your hand firmly on your heart again. Speak these words out loud with me right now. I release the heavy burdens of yesterday. I shatter every generational cycle of delay and poverty. I activate my dormant birthright as a chosen light bearer, and I declare that the 3 stop signs of the enemy are permanently neutralized by the favor of God. Amen. Your declaration is officially read in the courts of heaven. Hit the like button so this frequency can find another warrior. Subscribe to this channel immediately because the Father is not done speaking to your spirit. Share this message with a friend who needs this truth. Walk with an unshakable confidence today because you are no longer a hidden victim wandering in the lonely wilderness. May the infinite grace of the Most High guard your destiny forever.